Hi everyone, and welcome to our new moon video. This month we're talking about the new moon in Libra, which takes place on Sunday, the 25th of October. I'm here today with Jim Delacoli, and my name is Emmeline Muldoon, and I'm with Emmeline's Astrology. Now, we're filming this today on the equinox, the autumn equinox here in the Northern Hemisphere. And it's, of course, the southern down in the spring down in the southern hemisphere. So I'm wearing my autumnal colors today to get in the festive mood. We're moving into Libra season, and of course, every month, the sun goes into a different sign, and that's how we get the new moon, because every month the moon goes through each sign. So the sun is moving into Libra. Oh my goodness, it's Mercury retrograde, and the moon's going to join it, and we're going to have this wonderful new moon in Libra. So Libra's a really, I think it's a nice energy to work with for the new moon, because we're looking at harmony, balance, cooperation, beauty. It's led by Venus. What do you find beautiful? Where do you want to find beauty this Libra season? So we can think about those things when we look at Libra. So I've got the chart here, so I'm going to pull up the astrology chart for the new moon in Libra, and this is 5:54 p.m. and that's East Coast time on Sunday, 25th of September, but of course change it for your time zone. So as we can see, this is the chart for Charlotte. So as I say every time, if you're looking at this chart and you're learning about astrology, just ignore the houses if you are not in the East Coast, because it's going to be a different house. It's going to start in a different sign. So we're just going to look at where the planets are and what they're doing, because those aspects are always the same no matter where in the world you are. So you can see over here, this is the new moon. Sun and moon have come together at 2 degrees of Libra. And that is how you know it's a new moon, when the sun and the moon are exactly together in a chart. It's always a good way if you're learning to see, oh, that's a new moon chart. This is a big one, isn't it, Jim?
Yeah, we as we were chatting before we clicked the video
Yeah.
on about really this is where you hopefully are working deep within you based on what's the energies that you're receiving, you're understanding, you're picking up, you're drawing to you, and then others around you. You're hopefully you can figure yourself out before our next 2 runs will be eclipses that are where the universe is going to catapult you somewhere because the universe is going to tell you you're ready. Get going. So this is a huge moon, last opportunity from a new moon perspective of planting seeds, knowing who you are, knowing what you can do and create within your world, and for those that you allow in intimately into your world.
Yeah. And I think that's it's a nice energy to think about, that pairing, that coming together, that connection that Libra is drawing us to. Because like I always say, with these new moons, every month we have this new moon somewhere in our chart. Yeah. So look to where 2 degrees of Libra is in your chart, and you're going to see how it's affecting you personally. But this is pulling us in. This is this new beginning. It's the time to manifest. It's time to create in the Libra way. So without us even telling you that that's going to happen, you're going to be feeling that energy anyway. You're going to be feeling poured into what you want to grow in that area of your life, in with other people and around you, and with connection and harmony. And if you do a new moon ritual, or whatever way you choose to bring in the new moon each month, then try and do it as close to 5:54 p.m. East Coast time as you can, because obviously that's going to make it more intense and more powerful.
And I'm gonna throw a couple things in. One is that since this new moon is as the sun setting, it's a rare occurrence where you can manifest from the perspective of the sun's leaving the day, or the sun's leaving the moment. So you can decipher that which is maybe hidden or in the dark or maybe unknown for you. And Emily and I are both Libras and Libra sun signs. So I want to clarify that. And I can speak from my perspective, Emily, you can give them yours, but I've learned a lot in my 56 years from how others perceive me from the perspective of I didn't even see that quality, whether it was good or bad, until somebody exposed it to me. So don't miss that opportunity that this can bring to you for you just to become better, because that's all it's about at this point.
Oh yeah, and it's funny you just said that, because that just completely resonated with me. Absolutely. I just realized there's sometimes where friends of mine will say, don't do that thing where you do this, or you're good at this, or and I would say, I do that. I did that, and then it dawns on me. I go, oh yeah, I do. Yeah. So that's one of the things about Libra.
Yep.
I always look at when you've got the Libra sun, as the sun's not happy in Libra. So this month we've got the sun going through Libra, but the sun's really happy in Aries, where it's pushing itself out there and it's saying, look at my light, I'm shining. It's in Libra, so it's having to say, well, how does everyone else want to shine? What does everyone else want to do? And I think as a Libra sun person, you're going through your life trying to find that balance, trying to figure out how do I shine, because it's so tempting to help others shine and not put your own light out there. So I always try and look at when I have my Aries friends, I just try and look at how they project their sun to sort of get clues as to help pull out sun.
Yep. No, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Interesting thing to think about with this new moon, because it's opposite Jupiter in Aries. So we're getting some Aries vibes from this new moon. As you can see, it's literally opposite. Jupiter's at 3 in Aries. So that's the complete, opposite energy to Libra. So this is a big moon. This is a very big new moon.
Yes. And it's about, Jupiter going into Aries is about beginning anew. Aries is from the northern hemisphere, it's where things begin anew. It's spring, the beginning of spring. It's first fire sign, and Jupiter in there does well because it rules the last fire sign of Sagittarius. So you're really trying to move forward, figure things out, get to the bottom of things, and then begin anew. And we need to let this happen. But no, whenever there's an opposition, you're going to deal in extremes, and it doesn't have to be extremely painful. It could be extremely enjoyable. It's a matter of how you're going to handle it. So there's a lot with this manifestation from that perspective of beginning anew. And here's where I see people trip up. They try to get to the end, right? They want to start new, and then they want to put all the pieces together and say, all right, here's how it's going to look when it's over. Not necessary here. It's about beginning anew and finding more out about who you are and what you've surrounded yourself with. That's all it's about. You don't have to get all the puzzle pieces here. It's about beginning anew and figuring out who you are with yourself, that relationship you have, and with others. And if you do that, you're going to really like how this thing ends, I think, when we're done.
Yeah, that's really good. I like that. Yeah, and also one thing to think about here is Jupiter is in Aries and it's retrograde. So, a lot of the time I think Jupiter in Aries is like maybe jumping off the cliff without necessarily checking your safety, your safety parachute, making sure it's all right. So there's that energy of, yeah, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to go forwards, but I'm fine. I've got this. So sometimes before you leap, maybe just take a minute, check, make sure that things are the way you want them to be. And also because it's retrograde, we are dealing with, maybe we're going to have to revise a few things before we move forwards, because it's not moving direct in Aries. It's like, I want to move forwards, but maybe I did that wrong, so I'm going to go back, check it, and then we're going to, with the knowledge, expand and grow.
Yep. And Mercury and Venus are also conjunct to this new moon. They're personal planets like the sun and the moon are. And I consider those fleeting, where the moment comes fairly quickly. You kind of can deal with it and move on. It will come back because all these planets move fairly quickly, just not to the same level, I hope. So knowing you got 4 personal planets here, this is about you discovering you. Mercury's also retrograde. So you will have to redo. So know that there's a lot of retrograde things right now,
Yes.
but don't worry about being perfect here, because that's the last thing you need to be. You need to get moving and really assess, because I think we're at the final stages of you piecing together who you are for when these eclipses come up in the next month or so.
Yes, exactly. We are at the beginning of eclipse season. So eclipse season, we're going to be talking about that in the next videos, but they are, you know, course correctors, the wild cards, beginnings, endings. They bring in a lot of change. So if they hit a particular point in your chart that's sensitive, that's when you're going to see it really affecting you at that time. You know, not all eclipses will affect you in the same degree. If you need more information about that, then you can, you know, contact Jim and I, and we can look at your, you know, help look at your charts and see if the eclipses are big for you. But this time around, but we are building into that eclipse energy, so the change is coming.
Yep.
It's
And
definitely...
eclipses are the universe going, you're ready. You may not know you're ready, but I'm putting you in a position that you're going to have to start making choices from a perspective of being ready. So get ready for that. So
yeah, that's right. Big times of change. So yeah, so we've got the Mercury retrograde. We've got so many planets retrograde, haven't we? Uranus, Jupiter, Chiron, Neptune, Saturn, Pluto. Oh, and Mercury. Oh, and Mars is getting ready to go retrograde.
Getting ready to go backwards. Yep.
So, you know, what I'm going to say is, you know, we go backwards to go forwards. That's kind of the sense I get with this new moon, is that we're taking some time. Maybe we don't know we're going backwards because we feel like we're moving forwards. Mars wants us to move forwards, but because Mars is getting ready to go backwards, it's as though we're saying, okay, we're going to get the information that we need when we're moving backwards, even though we think we're moving forwards, if you know what I mean. And then once we've got that information, it's okay, now it's all clicked into place. And then, you know, particularly by the time we get to the spring, when Mars is back fully charged and it's moving into Cancer, yeah, okay, now I can really know how to work with the knowledge to move forward. So we're taking 2 steps back to go, 1 step back to go 2 steps forwards, you know. Yes, I think
that's correct. Yep.
So don't worry about the retrograde energy. So many people at the moment, Mercury retrograde. Oh my goodness, my clients, it's on social media, people saying, oh, it's a terrible time. Mercury retrograde, it's not good. You know, everything's to blame for Mercury retrograde. That is not how it works, you know. Actually, we were just saying Mercury retrograde can be a really good time to start a project and launch a project, because you tweak it and you can make it better.
Yes. Yeah, because too often we want to be perfect and we don't want to change because that's how we started. And I think retrogrades are great for us to do that. So good point. So.
Yeah, exactly. So don't fear a retrograde, especially Mercury. It's the messenger. It's the one that comes down and communicates to us. Look at what's coming up. Are you reconnecting with old friends, maybe some old lovers sometimes come back. You know, people go back in your life from the past. What are they trying to make you think of? What message are they giving you? Those type of things are important to pay attention to when it's Mercury retrograde.
Yep.
As it is right now until the 2nd of October, so we're still in it.
Yes.
Okay.
You want to go to well, we got squares, oppositions, and trines. You tell me where you want to go. And
we do the lovely Pluto, because Pluto trining all these guys over here is also making it big, as well as the Jupiter, you know.
Yeah, you can start on that. I'll fill
yeah it. So, you know, Pluto is a very close trine with Mercury and Venus. So what this is saying, the energy is flowing when it's a trine. It's not hard to get that connection. Pluto is transforming. It's giving power to what we are thinking about, what we are learning about, what we love. That's the Venus. Also money as well. Venus is money. So think about changes to money maybe. But you know, what it's asking you to do is, are there going to be ways in which we change from what we've learned? You know, Mercury is the information, it's communication. Watch out for maybe power struggles with how people communicate with you and your loved ones, maybe, because this is Venus here as well. But we just said Mercury's retrograde. When it's retrograding and it's making an aspect to Pluto, it's a different energy to when it's moving forwards and it's making an aspect to Pluto. So this Mercury going back, what are you reworking from what you've learned? What are you revising from what you've learned? What information have you gained that's made you want to change, maybe, that's now you're thinking of ways to reprocess?
Yep. And then I'm going to throw in that we got a grand trine, and Uranus isn't really like closely aligned, but it is by sign, and it is within 9 degrees of these planets, and Uranus is the truth. So we're seeing and figuring out, because they're all in earth signs, we're seeing and figure out the truth about everything. That's why you're watching the stock market fall. You know, you're watching the dollar, the value of the currencies go down. You're watching things, watching value of other things maybe rise. But this is all because the truth's coming out about what the heck we've been doing here. From all these earth signs, we're trying to figure out what's real, what's not real on this physical plane. And a lot of it because we're Venus is from the monetary perspective, but Mercury's telling us the communication. What do we know? What have we been taught? Is it the truth? You're finding there's a lot of this has been lies and untruths. So prepare for that, and don't worry, we can figure it out. It's retrograde, so we will figure it out.
Yeah. Okay, and then we've still got this Saturn Uranus square that's been going on. I think we're all just feel like we're sick. We're sick of this Saturn Uranus square. It was the theme for 2021. So that friction between what we need to work on, where we need to take responsibility, and what we need to build upon, what needs to break down and what needs to come free. You know, that's what that friction is really sort of pointing towards. So right now, as you can see, Saturn is at 19 and it's going backwards. So it's really close square to Uranus at 18. So they're in friction. So what they're saying is, you know, we feel like we want to work, we want to move forward with our responsibilities, and that yet at the same time things have to crumble down and break away to let us move on with what we're building.
And I always say Uranus and Saturn, when they interact, Uranus finally, you know, we can trump Saturn and its restrictions. And I like it even more now because Saturn is traveling in Uranus's sign that it rules. So we really have a chance for freedom and the truth. And this square is really trying to help us. Are you looking? I'm noticing a lot of people aren't, but there's events that are going to unfold that you're going to have to admit and see things for as they are. And that's what's happening to us. That's why I love where we're at right now.
Yeah, and this is gonna linger on through October as well. So, you know, that energy is big for the next month ahead.
Yep. So we also had Neptune Mars square.
Yes.
And you know, we talked a little off. It's a square that you know, Mars wants to take action, get going. Well, Neptune is the ruler of the last sign of Pisces, of being the master of everything. So these two don't get along anyway. So having this square is teaching us about, again, I'm saying lies and things that maybe are hidden or have been deceptive. So careful here. You know, Mars is going to be in Gemini, that where we really want to learn, we want to figure it out. We want to either be the student or the teacher. And I think Neptune's the master of all teachers. So, you know, we're learning on the level that we can become more to be the master, so to speak, but we have to unlearn, I guess, is how I'll put this square, a lot of things. And ego's got to be gone, so you can truly look at it and go, maybe I was a fool in this area. And don't be afraid to say that to yourself.
Yeah, it's a really interesting square, actually, Mars and Neptune, isn't it? Because Mars is hanging out in Gemini for a long time at the moment, and Mars in Gemini, it's the words are your tools, but in the lower form, words are your weapons. So it can be people saying things, and you're hearing things from people that maybe you don't understand at first, or maybe there's confusion about things that you hear. So maybe someone overreacts and then you don't understand that reaction in some way, because Neptune can be confusing, and then this can be like angry words. So that them two coming together doesn't feel particularly nice, but you can use the higher form of it, and the higher form of Neptune is love, not just Venus love, but the highest form of love that you can have. So in some way you could pull in that square and feel like, okay, I'm going to use what I talk about or what I learn to figure out what I love or what's important to me. I always like to use the higher form of Neptune.
Yeah, no, I always forget to. So no, that's good. Good point.
Yeah, when I learned about Neptune, I thought I'm just going to go with the love meaning. I'm going to stick with the higher love.
Yes, because it is completion. So it is. It's about really figuring it out. So you're right. So.
Oh, and actually, look, I didn't see this. It's making an opposition to Venus. Love, double love.
Yep.
Love is in some way, love's being pulled out here.
Yes.
It's like pulling us to think, pulling out what we intuitively know that what we need to work on and what we love. Okay. Anything else we need to cover? Did we miss?
I'm going to do the other trines quickly. Saturn, Mars.
Yes.
Work to be done and having the passion to do it. Those two, I like those together. And then Uranus, Venus, we're finding the truth and finding it in a pattern that isn't so difficult, where Uranus likes to make things just chaotic, I guess is what I'll say. So I like those two trine, those combinations of trine, because you can do work and find freedom, where you're going to have your passion, and you should get some ease here. So I like those planets trine.
Yes, they're really nice. I like that too. Observation. Okay. So
I think we covered everything.
Yeah, I think we're done with this lovely new moon in Libra. Libra, as you know, I am a Libra sun, so I always feel that this is my time of year where I get my recharge and the new beginnings, the energy. So if you have a sun in Libra as well, you might feel like that, when the new moon in Libra hits every month, that it's your sort of energy recharge, that type of time. So thank you once again for joining us with this video. We love doing them with you. It's always nice to work with you, Jim.
Same here. I love working with you, so I appreciate it.
Coming together to do his videos is so fun, and as you may have guessed, now we're in a bit of a pattern, so we do every new moon and every full moon together. So you can join us for the next video, which will be the full moon coming up in a couple of weeks. So we'll be doing that as well. In the meantime,
I just want to throw a plug for our next class on the 30th. If you're in Charlotte, more than welcome. 30th of October, you can email or comment to us and we'll let you know when and where. But we do it once a month on a Sunday evening. So love to have a large group there. So throw that out there as well.
Yes, we do. If you're in the Charlotte area and you can take advantage of coming to an actual in-person class, drop us a note and we'll send you the links to that. Love to see you there. Love to see some of you people there that are listening. Meet you for the first time, maybe. And all our regulars, of course. And in the meantime, if you have any questions or if you have any comments on this video, this new moon, if there's something you think we've missed about this new moon, comment below. We'd love to hear from you.
Yes. Thank you again.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Until the next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.